The desert stretched endlessly in every direction. Waves of golden sand shimmered beneath the afternoon sun, giving the illusion of an endless ocean. Myra stood at the top of a dune, her scarf fluttering in the dry wind, as she studied the small scanner in her hands. The machine gave off a faint rhythmic pulse, showing unusual energy readings deep under the sand. Her brother Aaron climbed the dune behind her, carrying a canteen of water. His steps were heavy from the heat, but his eyes still carried curiosity. "You have been staring at that thing for hours," he said, handing her the canteen. "Are you sure it is not just heat messing with the signals again?" Myra took the canteen, sipped carefully, and shook her head. "No. These readings are different. They repeat in a pattern. Nature does not create patterns this perfect. Something is under us, Aaron. I can feel it." Below the dune, the rest of the small crew worked near a cluster of tents. Dallin, their engineer, hammered stakes into the ground while adjusting solar panels to power their equipment. Two assistants checked digging tools and drones, preparing for another long day of excavation. The team was small, but each member trusted Myra's instinct. She was known for finding things hidden where no one else thought to look. Aaron sighed as he sat on the sand. "If there really is something down there, why did no one find it before us? The desert has been searched many times." Myra smiled faintly. "Because they were not looking for this. Most people search for trade routes, ruins on the surface, or mineral deposits. But this signal comes from deep under the dunes. Maybe too deep for anyone else to notice. But it is here, and it is waiting for us." Later that evening, as the sun sank below the horizon and the desert cooled, Myra gathered the crew around the central table in the tent. She spread out maps, scanner readings, and notes. The flickering light of a lantern cast shadows across their faces. Dallin adjusted his glasses and studied the chart. "The readings are clear. There is a large structure buried beneath the dunes. The shape is too straight to be natural. But the depth, it is incredible. We are talking about something built and then swallowed by time itself." One of the assistants leaned closer. "What if it is just old rock formations we could waste weeks digging?" Myra's eyes held a steady fire. "I do not believe that. Look at these markings. The signal repeats every few minutes, as if a machine is still alive down there. Rock does not hum with energy for centuries. This is something more." The crew grew quiet. The desert wind whistled outside, making the tent walls flap. Aaron crossed his arms. "Then we begin tomorrow. We dig, and we see for ourselves. If this is what you think it is, Myra, then we might be standing on the greatest discovery of our lives." The next morning, the crew began work before the sun rose high. Drones hovered above, mapping the sand and marking the areas of strongest readings. Shovels struck the ground while machines churned the earth, lifting heavy layers of sand away. Hours passed, then days. The desert gave nothing easily, but the explorers refused to give up. By the end of the first week, fragments of stone began to appear. At first they were small, rough, and half-buried. But soon the team uncovered slabs with strange carvings etched into them. The markings looked like symbols, simple yet precise, unlike any language the crew recognized. Myra held one of the fragments in her hands, brushing away grains of sand. The lines carved into the surface seemed deliberate, almost like instructions. She traced them with her finger, her heart beating faster. "This is not random. Someone built something here. These are signs, records of a people who once lived or worked under this desert." Aaron leaned close, frowning at the fragment. "But the desert has no history of such a city. No one has ever spoken of an empire here. Could it be older than our records?" Dallin carefully placed another slab onto a table. "Older, yes. Perhaps much older. Look at the smoothness of the stone. These were cut with precision. Whoever built this had skill, tools, and purpose. The crew felt a mix of excitement and unease. It was as though the desert itself had been hiding a secret, waiting for them to uncover it. Each night, as the wind swept across the camp and stars lit the sky, Myra stared at the fragments. She imagined streets, towers, and people long gone. The more they uncovered, the stronger her belief grew. This was not a ruin of chance. This was the beginning of something greater. On the 12th day, one of the drones gave an alert. The sand had shifted near the excavation site, revealing a corner of something massive. The crew rushed to the spot. As the sand cleared, they stood before an enormous block of stone, carved with larger and more complex symbols. The surface was smooth, and it curved slightly, as if part of a doorway. Myra's breath caught. She touched the surface gently, feeling the faint vibrations beneath her palm. "This is it," she whispered. "This is not just scattered fragments. This is an entrance." The crew stood in silence, the weight of the discovery pressing down on them. Aaron placed a hand on her shoulder. "If this is a doorway, then what lies beyond it?" Myra looked at him, her eyes shining with determination. "A city, Aaron. A city lost to the sands. We are about to step into a history no one remembers. The desert has kept its secret for too long, but now it is ours to uncover." That night, none of them slept easily. The thought of what waited beneath the dunes filled their minds with questions and possibilities. The desert, quiet and endless, seemed to watch them as the stars burned above. They had found the first sign of the hidden city. The next step would take them deeper into its mystery. The morning sun rose slowly over the desert, painting the sky in shades of orange and gold. Myra and her crew gathered around the massive stone doorway they had uncovered. The air was cooler than usual, but the heat of the coming day could already be felt. Everyone stood quietly, staring at the strange curved surface with its glowing symbols. Myra traced the carvings again with her hand. The symbols felt smooth, almost alive. She whispered softly, "This is not just stone. It is a lock, a seal. The city is waiting behind it." Aaron stepped closer, shielding his eyes from the sun. "Then how do we open it? If it is a door, it must have a way inside." Dallin was already setting up equipment near the surface. He placed scanners against the stone and connected them to a portable screen. The device showed shapes buried behind the wall, hollow spaces stretching far below the sand. His eyes widened as he studied the display. "There is an entire passage behind this. A tunnel leading downward. The structure is enormous. It is not just one building. It looks like the entrance to something far greater." The crew felt a shiver of excitement. The desert wind carried a low whistle, as if warning them to be careful. Myra pointed to one of the larger symbols at the center of the stone. It was shaped like a circle within a triangle, with lines spreading outward. She pressed her hand against it. To everyone's surprise, the symbol lit up faintly, glowing a soft blue beneath her touch. The ground trembled. Sand slid from the edges of the doorway as hidden gears deep inside began to turn. The heavy stone split down the middle, parting slowly. Dust poured from the cracks as the entrance revealed itself. A dark passage stretched inward, wide and tall enough for several people to walk side by side. The air that flowed out was cool and fresh, as if sealed away for centuries. The crew stood frozen in awe. Aaron's voice broke the silence. "It is opening for us. It is as if it has been waiting all this time." Myra lowered her hand and took a deep breath. "Then it is time. Prepare the lights. We are going in." They strapped portable lamps to their belts and carried stronger lanterns in their hands. The glow lit the entrance as they stepped forward. Their footsteps echoed faintly on the smooth stone floor. The air inside smelled faintly metallic but breathable. It was cooler than the desert above, almost pleasant. As they moved deeper, the walls around them revealed carvings similar to the fragments they had found outside. The symbols lined the passage, glowing faintly in response to their movement. It was as if the walls recognized them. Dallin whispered, "This is incredible. The entire structure has its own power source. How can it still be active after all this time?" Myra studied the symbols closely. "It is not just stone. This is technology woven with art. They built this place to last, to wait." The passage stretched far into the ground. Their steps grew slower as they descended, the light from the entrance fading behind them. Soon only their lanterns and the glowing symbols lit the way. The air grew heavier, filled with the weight of silence. After nearly an hour of walking, they reached a vast chamber. The ceiling arched high above, supported by thick stone pillars. In the center of the chamber was a staircase spiraling downward into the darkness below. The crew gathered at the top of the staircase. Aaron leaned on the railing, staring into the shadowy depths. "This city must be enormous. How far down does it go?" Dallin scanned the staircase with his device. "The reading shows multiple layers below us. Hundreds of meters at least. It is like an entire city buried under the sand." Myra's heart raced. She could feel history pressing down on them, the lives of people long gone. She turned to the crew. "This is it. We are standing at the threshold of something greater than we have ever known. We cannot turn back now." One by one, they began their descent. The stone steps were smooth and perfectly crafted, showing no sign of age or decay. The deeper they went, the brighter the glowing symbols became, as if guiding them. The silence of the descent was broken only by their footsteps and the distant hum that echoed faintly through the stone. It was a low vibration, steady and alive, as though the city itself was breathing. After what felt like forever, the staircase ended in another chamber, far larger than the first. Their lanterns revealed streets paved with black stone, lined with tall structures reaching upward into the darkness. Some buildings shimmered faintly with lights that had survived the ages. The explorers stood at the edge of an underground city, untouched by time. Aaron's mouth fell open. "It is real. Myra, you were right. A whole city, hidden beneath the desert." Dallin turned slowly, scanning the structures. "This is beyond anything I have seen. The architecture is advanced yet ancient. It feels familiar, but different." Myra stepped forward, her eyes wide with wonder. Towers rose on either side of the street, their walls covered in symbols that pulsed with dim light. Pathways branched out in many directions, leading deeper into the city. Statues stood silently at intersections, shaped like tall figures with calm expressions. Their eyes seemed to follow the crew as they walked past. Everywhere they looked, the city seemed frozen in time. No dust covered the streets, no sign of decay touched the buildings. It was as if the people who had lived here had left only yesterday, leaving everything perfectly preserved. The crew moved slowly through the streets, afraid to disturb the silence. Myra paused in front of one of the statues. Its face was carved with great care, and its hands were raised in what looked like a gesture of welcome. She touched the base of the statue. The stone felt warm, as though it held life within it. She turned to the others. "This city is not just a ruin. It is waiting for us. Waiting for someone to return." The weight of her words settled over the crew. Aaron scanned the towering buildings nervously. "If it has been waiting, then for what? For us or for something else?" Before Myra could answer, the ground trembled again. A soft vibration spread through the city streets. Lights flickered along the walls, brighter this time. The statue's eyes glowed faintly, watching with silent intensity. The crew froze, their hearts pounding. The city was not only preserved. It was alive. Something deep within it had awoken. Myra led the crew through the wide streets of the underground city. The soft glow of the symbols on the walls guided them, casting long shadows across the smooth black stone. Each step echoed faintly, reminding them of the vast emptiness surrounding them. The air smelled faintly of metal and stone, untouched by dust or decay. Aaron paused near a large archway, his hand resting on the cool stone. "This place is too perfect," he said quietly. "It does not feel abandoned. It feels as if the city is waiting for someone to walk these streets." Myra nodded. "That is exactly what I feel. Look at the streets, the buildings, the statues. Everything is designed to last. The people who built this wanted it to survive. They were thinking of the future." Dallin adjusted his portable scanner, sweeping it across the buildings. The readings were unusual. Energy flowed through the stone in patterns that suggested hidden systems, mechanisms still active after thousands of years. "These buildings are more than stone," he said. "They are alive with power. They were built to function, not just to be decoration." The crew moved deeper into the city, exploring streets lined with tall towers. The walls of the buildings were smooth, carved with symbols that glowed faintly when approached. Some towers had openings high above, windows that revealed the faint shimmer of chambers beyond. It was a city frozen in time, but with signs of life waiting beneath its surface. At the center of the city, they discovered a large plaza. It was circular, paved with polished black stones that reflected the faint light. Statues surrounded the plaza, tall figures holding objects that resembled tools and devices. The expressions on the statues' faces were calm and serene, as if welcoming the explorers into their home. Myra stepped forward, examining the largest statue at the center. It held a glowing sphere in its hands, carved with the same symbols found throughout the city. She reached out and touched the sphere lightly. The moment her fingers met the surface, a soft vibration spread through the plaza. The symbols on the surrounding buildings brightened, and faint lights appeared inside the towers. The crew stepped back, eyes wide. Aaron whispered, "The city is responding to us. It knows we are here." Dallin examined the sphere carefully. "It is some kind of control or key. Whoever built this city created a way to communicate with it. This is advanced technology, older than anything we have ever studied." Myra nodded. "We need to explore carefully. There may be more keys, more controls hidden throughout the city. If this place was meant to survive, it may also protect itself." They continued along the streets, discovering buildings that seemed to serve different purposes. One structure appeared to be a library, with walls lined in glowing panels that displayed patterns instead of words. Another tower had a chamber filled with strange devices, possibly used for research or energy generation. The crew marveled at each discovery, realizing that the city had been a center of knowledge and innovation. As they moved further, they came to a wide plaza where the ground sloped gently downward into a circular pit. Stone steps led into the center, and at the bottom stood a large, domed building with doors covered in symbols. The energy readings from Dallin's scanner spiked dramatically. "This building is the heart of the city," Dallin said. "All the energy flows toward it. Whatever is inside is very important." Myra looked at the domed structure, her mind racing with possibilities. "We need to see what is inside. This may hold the secrets of the people who built this place." The crew approached the doors carefully. Myra reached out to touch the symbols, and once again, the stone responded to her presence. The doors shifted slightly, revealing a small opening. A warm, inviting light spilled from within, illuminating their faces. As they stepped inside, they found themselves in a vast hall. The ceiling arched high above, decorated with glowing patterns that seemed to move like waves. The floor was polished, reflecting the lights in soft colors. Along the walls were panels displaying maps of stars and planets, diagrams of machines, and symbols that seemed to tell stories. Aaron stepped forward, staring at the panels in awe. "These are records of their knowledge. They understood things we cannot even imagine. Look at the stars, the machines. They were far ahead of their time." Dallin moved toward one of the panels, examining the energy flow. This city was not only advanced, it was alive with energy. The systems here still work. Whoever built this knew how to create a place that could survive for thousands of years without humans. Myra ran her hands along one of the glowing panels, feeling the energy beneath the surface. They left this city hidden for a reason. Maybe to protect knowledge. Maybe to protect themselves. We need to understand it carefully before we do anything else. The crew explored the hall, marveling at the precision of the architecture. Each panel, each symbol, each device seemed to be connected in ways they did not yet understand. The city was a puzzle, alive and waiting for someone to unlock its secrets. Suddenly, a soft hum echoed through the hall. The lights on the panels shifted, focusing on the center of the room. A large device in the middle began to glow, its energy pulsing in rhythm with the hum. The explorers stepped back, sensing the presence of something powerful. Myra whispered, "The city is aware of us. It is testing us, or welcoming us. We must proceed with caution." The hum grew louder, and the glowing device projected a holographic map above the floor. It displayed the entire city, showing streets, towers, and hidden chambers. Small lights moved across the map, highlighting areas of interest. The crew watched in amazement, realizing that the city itself was guiding them. "This is incredible," Aaron said. "The city is alive. It can communicate with us. It is showing us where to go next." Dallin studied the map carefully. "It is not just showing us directions. It is teaching us. Every light, every symbol, every path is a lesson. Whoever built this wanted knowledge to be preserved, not lost." Myra nodded, her mind filled with questions and possibilities. "We are standing at the beginning of a discovery that could change everything. This city is not just a place. It is a library, a home, a protector. We need to understand it, respect it, and learn from it." The crew stood silently, absorbing the scale of their discovery. The city around them was quiet, yet alive, waiting for the right people to uncover its secrets. Myra felt a deep sense of responsibility. The desert above had hidden this place for centuries, and now it was their turn to carry its story forward. As they prepared to explore deeper, the hum of the city settled into a calm rhythm. The lights on the panels dimmed slightly, as if the city was watching and waiting. The explorers moved carefully, their hearts full of wonder, excitement, and a hint of fear. They had entered the silent city, and the real adventure was just beginning. The explorers stood in the center of the domed hall, still staring at the glowing holographic map that hovered above the floor. The soft hum of the city filled their ears, like a heartbeat echoing through the stone walls. Myra could feel the power of the place, a living presence that seemed to acknowledge their arrival. Aaron leaned over the map, pointing to a glowing light in the northern part of the city. "What is this place, Myra? It looks different from the other buildings. The energy readings are stronger there." Myra studied the projection. "I think it is the main energy hub. Everything else in the city seems to flow toward it. If we want to understand the city, we need to start there." Dallin adjusted his equipment, scanning the patterns of energy flowing through the hall. "These readings are incredible. The city is still functioning. The machines, the lights, the symbols, they are all active. It is like the city has been waiting for someone to turn it on again." The crew followed Myra as she led them out of the domed hall. The city streets were quiet, yet the faint glow of symbols along the walls guided their steps. Each building seemed alive, reacting to their presence. Lights turned on as they passed, revealing hidden carvings and intricate designs. When they reached the energy hub, they found a massive structure unlike anything they had seen before. It was a tower of glassy metal, with panels that pulsed softly with light. The doors were covered with symbols similar to those in the hall, but these seemed more complex, as if they contained instructions or codes. Myra stepped forward, pressing her hand on one of the central symbols. The tower responded immediately. A low vibration ran through the ground, and the panels lit up, displaying streams of energy flowing in multiple directions. The air shimmered with power, and the faint hum grew louder, like a song of awakening. Aaron looked at her in awe. It is alive, Myra. The city itself is alive. Yes, Myra said, her eyes wide. It is not just buildings and streets. It is a system, a machine, and a home. Everything here works together. We have awakened it. Dallin moved closer to the panels, studying the patterns of energy. It is incredible. The city is self-sustaining. The energy flows in loops, powering everything from the lights to the doors to the symbols. Whoever built this had knowledge far beyond anything we have today. As they watched, a series of lights on the tower pulsed in sequence, projecting holographic images into the air. The images showed people, tall and strong, moving through the streets of the city. They used tools, built structures, and operated machines. The explorers realized they were seeing a record of the city's past, a memory preserved in light. Aaron stepped back, shocked. They were human, Myra. These people, they look like us, but stronger, taller, and more advanced. They lived here thousands of years ago. Myra nodded slowly. They were humans, but they had knowledge and technology that we have only begun to imagine. This city was built to survive and protect that knowledge. It waited for someone capable of understanding it to return. Suddenly, a soft voice echoed through the hub. It was not a human voice, but mechanical, calm, and clear. Welcome, humans. You are recognized. The crew froze. Aaron whispered, "Did the city just speak?" "Yes," Myra said, her voice trembling. "It is communicating. We have awakened it, and now it can respond." The lights on the panels shifted again, showing areas of the city that had not been active before. Hidden chambers opened, revealing devices, machines, and glowing symbols. The city was revealing its secrets, layer by layer, as if trusting the explorers to follow. Dallin examined a panel projecting energy flows. "Look at this. The city can redirect energy, open doors, activate machines, even guide people. It is like a living organism, but made of stone, metal, and light." Myra turned to her team. "We must explore carefully. This city has knowledge and power beyond our understanding. Every step we take must be thoughtful. We are guests in a place that has waited thousands of years for us." As they moved through the hub, the city began to respond more actively. Mechanical doors opened smoothly, staircases shifted to reveal hidden passages, and lights followed their movement. It was as if the city was learning from them, observing how they moved and where they went. Aaron paused at one of the newly opened passages. "Myra, look. This leads to another chamber. The energy readings are higher here than anywhere else. This must be important." Myra nodded and led the way. The chamber was circular, with walls covered in panels and symbols. In the center stood a large device, taller than any of them, glowing with energy. Streams of light flowed from it in all directions, connecting to the panels and symbols along the walls. Dallin stepped closer, examining the device. "This is the city's core. It controls everything. The energy, the lights, the symbols, even the memory of the people who built this place. Whoever built this designed it to last forever." Myra placed her hand on the glowing surface. A wave of energy passed through her, warm and gentle. Images appeared in her mind, people building the city, creating devices, teaching one another. The city was showing her its history, its knowledge, and its purpose. Aaron watched her carefully. "It is like the city is alive, Myra. It can think, remember, and even teach." "Yes," Myra whispered. "It is alive, and it trusts us. We are the first humans to return here in thousands of years. We must respect it and learn everything we can." As they explored the chamber, the hum of the city grew stronger, more constant. The lights pulsed in rhythm, and the panels displayed streams of knowledge, like a library come to life. The city was awakening fully, revealing its secrets and showing that it had waited for the right people to return. Myra felt a deep sense of awe. The city was not just a hidden place, it was a bridge between the past and the future. The humans who built it had left a gift, a treasure of knowledge, energy, and power, preserved for those who could understand and protect it. The explorers realized that their journey had only just begun. The city had awakened, and with it, a world of discovery, knowledge, and responsibility. Every step forward would reveal more secrets, more power, and more understanding of the humans who had built this incredible place. As they prepared to explore deeper into the city, Myra knew one thing for certain. The desert above had hidden the city for centuries, but now it was alive, and humanity had returned to reclaim its lost history. Myra led her crew carefully through the glowing streets of the city, their eyes wide with wonder at every building, every symbol, every flicker of light. The city had fully awakened, and energy pulsed through the streets like veins carrying life. Yet a sense of caution hung in the air, subtle but powerful. The city seemed alive, aware, and watchful. Aaron scanned the shadows near a tall tower. "Myra, do you see that there are figures over there? They look like statues, but I think they are moving." Myra squinted. Her heart skipped a beat as she realized Aaron was right. Tall figures with smooth stone bodies and glowing eyes were emerging from the shadows. Their movements were deliberate, slow, and purposeful. They seemed to be observing the crew, stepping silently across the black stone streets. Dallin stepped closer, adjusting his scanner. "They are constructs of some kind. Not alive in the human sense, but definitely aware. They are guarding the city." The largest of the figures stopped a few meters away from Myra. Its glowing eyes focused on her, and a soft hum of energy spread through the ground. The crew instinctively stopped moving. The Guardian's presence was powerful and commanding. Myra took a deep breath and stepped forward, raising her hands slightly. She remembered the symbols on the doors and panels that had responded to her touch. Perhaps a gesture of respect could work here too. "We are humans," she said calmly. "We mean no harm. We have come to learn and to understand your city." The Guardians paused. The largest one tilted its head slightly, as if processing her words. A soft vibration ran through the ground, and the hum of energy grew stronger, echoing through the streets. Then, slowly, the figure lowered its arms, signaling that it recognized them as allies rather than threats. Aaron let out a quiet breath. It worked. They accepted us. Dallin examined the glowing symbols on the Guardians' bodies. These symbols match the city's energy patterns. The Guardians are connected to the city itself. They are alive through the energy, and they understand our presence. The crew followed the Guardians as they led them deeper into the city. The streets opened up into another plaza, smaller than the first, but filled with structures that pulsed with bright energy. The Guardians moved in a precise formation, as if guiding the crew along a path designed for discovery. Myra studied the environment carefully. The Guardians are not enemies. They are protectors. They will test us, guide us, and perhaps teach us the ways of the city. We need to pay attention. As they moved, a door opened in one of the towers, revealing a chamber filled with strange machines and panels. Energy flowed through the room in arcs of soft light, and the hum of the city was louder here. The Guardians positioned themselves at the entrance, standing still as if to allow only those worthy to enter. Aaron looked at Myra. "Do you think they will let us explore inside?" Myra nodded. "I believe we have proven our intentions. The city is testing us, yes, but it also recognizes our purpose. Let us see what lies within." Inside the chamber, they found a central console covered in glowing symbols. Dallin stepped forward, examining the panels. "This must be a control hub. The energy flows from here throughout the city. Whoever operates this can access the knowledge and mechanisms of the entire place." Myra touched one of the symbols. Immediately, the hum intensified, and streams of light connected the console to the guardians standing outside. The construct's eyes glowed brighter, their movements synchronized with the energy. The city itself seemed to be teaching the explorers how to interact with it. Aaron's eyes widened. It is like the city is alive and thinking. The guardians are part of it. They are here to protect, guide, and communicate. We are not intruders. We are students. Dallin studied the patterns of energy flowing through the room. The guardians respond to intent. They know who we are and what we seek. If our intentions were wrong, we would not be here. They are designed to protect the city from harm, not humans who come with respect and curiosity. Myra nodded, feeling a sense of connection to the city she had never imagined. We are witnessing something extraordinary. The guardians are not just machines. They are part of the city's memory, part of its intelligence. They remember the people who built this place and ensure that only those who honor it can learn from it. One of the guardians stepped forward, closer to Myra. Its glowing eyes seemed to study her, scanning her presence. Then it extended a hand, not in threat, but in a gesture that mimicked hers. Myra understood immediately. The city was inviting them to connect, to communicate, to share knowledge. She raised her hand slowly, and the guardian mirrored her motion perfectly. A soft vibration ran through her body, warm and gentle, like a signal of recognition. The energy in the room intensified, and holographic images began to appear above the console. The images showed humans working in the city, constructing towers, operating machines, and learning from devices similar to those in the chamber. Myra realized that the city was not only alive, it was teaching. It was sharing the wisdom of the people who had built it thousands of years ago. Aaron stepped forward, amazed. They are showing us history. We can see how the city was built, how the people lived, and how the guardians were created to protect everything. Dallin adjusted his scanner to track the energy flows. The guardians are linked to the city's knowledge. They are like teachers, guides, and protectors all at once. They ensure that the city's secrets are shared only with those who are ready to understand. Myra looked at the console, the guardians, and her crew. She felt a profound sense of responsibility. We must respect the city. We have been allowed to enter, to learn, and to explore. It is giving us a chance to understand a lost civilization. We cannot take this lightly. The guardians slowly moved back, forming a circle around the chamber. Their glowing eyes followed every motion of the explorers, yet there was no threat. The city had recognized their intentions and had chosen to trust them. As the crew began to explore the room further, they discovered panels filled with diagrams, star maps, and designs of advanced technology. The guardians observed quietly, ensuring that the explorers did not touch anything recklessly. The city was alive, aware, and teaching them in a gentle but firm way. Myra understood now that the guardians were not obstacles, they were essential to the survival of the city's knowledge. They preserved history, protected the energy, and guided anyone who came with respect and curiosity. As the sun above the desert began to set, the city's glow became brighter, filling the chamber with soft, golden light. Myra knew that their journey had reached a turning point. The city had awakened fully, the guardians had accepted them, and the explorers had the opportunity to learn secrets that had been hidden for thousands of years. The silent city was no longer quiet. It was alive, aware, and ready to reveal the wisdom of a lost civilization to those who were worthy. Myra looked at her crew and smiled. We have been trusted. The city has chosen us. It is time to learn, to explore, and to uncover the full story of this place. And with that, they began their first lessons, guided by the guardians, in a city that had waited for centuries to awaken. Myra and her crew followed the guardians deeper into the city. The streets glowed softly, guiding them toward a massive building in the heart of the underground world. The structure towered above the others, its walls pulsing with energy like a living organism. Myra could feel the hum of power in her chest as they approached. This must be the central archive, Myra whispered. The place where all the city's knowledge is stored. Everything the builders learned, everything they created, it should all be here. Aaron stepped closer, written across his face. If this is the archive, then we are about to see things no human has seen in thousands of years. I can feel it already. Dallin adjusted his equipment, scanning the energy flow around the entrance. The readings are off the charts. This place is alive with power. Every device, every panel, every symbol is connected. Whoever built this city wanted their knowledge to survive. The Guardians positioned themselves near the doors, standing still as the explorers approached. Myra reached out to touch the central symbol above the entrance. The moment her fingers made contact, the doors shifted open silently, revealing a vast hall inside. The hall was enormous, filled with glowing panels, devices, and intricate symbols. The air seemed to hum with energy, warm and gentle. As the crew stepped in, the light from the panels brightened, revealing endless rows of information. The city had preserved everything: history, technology, science, and even maps of stars and planets beyond their world. Myra moved slowly through the hall, her fingers brushing lightly over the panels. Each touch activated streams of light that displayed knowledge in motion. Aaron watched as diagrams of machines unfolded in holographic form, showing how energy could be controlled, stored, and used for many purposes. "This is incredible," Aaron said. "They knew how to do things we are only beginning to dream of. Look at these energy systems, Myra. They could power entire cities with this." Dallin examined a panel showing advanced machines and devices. They had technology far beyond ours. They understood energy, physics, and the stars. This is knowledge humanity lost long ago. We are standing in a treasure trove of wisdom. Myra stopped before a large central console, its symbols glowing brightly. She reached out, and a wave of information flowed into her mind. Images appeared of the people who built the city, constructing towers, creating machines, and studying the stars. She could see their methods, their logic, their dedication. They were humans, Myra whispered. Humans like us, but stronger, smarter, and wiser. They built this city to protect knowledge, to survive, and to wait for someone capable to return. Aaron leaned closer, studying a panel showing star charts and planetary systems. They were explorers too. They did not just live here. They traveled, studied, and expanded their understanding. Imagine what we could learn from all of this. Dallin moved to another section of the hall, where machines were displayed with glowing instructions. They left everything in working order. The devices can still operate. If we learn how to use them, we could advance our understanding of energy, transportation, and even communication. The Guardians remained at the edges of the hall, silent and watchful. Myra realized they were not only protectors but teachers. They ensured the knowledge was respected, guiding the explorers without interfering. "This city is more than a library," Myra said softly. "It is a living classroom. It teaches us how to understand, how to apply, and how to respect the wisdom left behind." As they explored, one of the panels began to project a holographic figure. It was a human-like image, tall and serene, demonstrating techniques for energy control. The figure moved gracefully, showing how devices could harness energy from the city itself. Aaron stepped forward, studying the projection. "It is like they are showing us how to use their knowledge. Not just storing it, but teaching it. They expected someone to come and learn." Myra nodded. "Yes. The city has waited for humans capable of understanding it. Now it is our turn." Dallin moved toward a section of the hall that displayed star maps and charts. The holographic images showed planets, moons, and energy fields, far beyond their solar system. "They knew the stars," he said, awe in his voice. "They understood how to navigate, how to harness energy from worlds beyond ours. This knowledge could change everything." Myra placed her hand on another panel, and it responded by projecting a map of the underground city itself. Lights traced the streets, buildings, and hidden chambers. It was as if the city was teaching them its layout, showing them where knowledge, machines, and energy sources were located. "The city is guiding us," Myra said. "It wants us to learn. It wants us to explore responsibly. Every corner, every chamber, every device is a lesson." Aaron stepped back, looking at the glowing panels and holographic images. "We have been given a gift, Myra. We are standing in a place no one else has seen for thousands of years. We must learn from it, not take from it recklessly." Dallin studied a complex diagram of an energy device. "If we understand this, we could use the city's power safely. This technology could improve life above the desert, on the surface, and beyond. But we need to be careful. The knowledge is powerful and must be respected." Myra felt the weight of responsibility pressing on her shoulders. "We are not here to conquer or exploit. We are here to understand, preserve, and share carefully. This city entrusted us with its secrets. We cannot fail it or ourselves." As they explored further, the Guardians moved closer to the panels, watching over the crew. The energy in the hall pulsed gently, responding to their movements, their gestures, and their touch. It was a city alive with memory, wisdom, and purpose. Myra guided the crew through the sections of the hall that contained records of medicine, agriculture, construction, and energy. Each section revealed methods far beyond current knowledge, techniques that had been lost to time but preserved perfectly here. "We have the opportunity to learn everything," Myra said softly. "This city is a bridge between the past and the future. If we use this knowledge wisely, humanity could advance beyond what we ever imagined." Aaron looked at the glowing symbols and holographic figures. "We are not just explorers anymore. We are students, caretakers, and witnesses. This knowledge is a responsibility as much as it is a gift." Dallin nodded, his eyes shining with excitement. "And the Guardians are here to ensure we respect that responsibility. We are not alone. The city itself is guiding us every step of the way." Myra took a deep breath, feeling the energy of the city flowing through the hall. She knew that they had entered a place that could change the future of humanity. But she also knew that it required patience, wisdom, and care. The underground city had revealed its knowledge, its machines, and its secrets. It had awakened fully, trusting the explorers to learn, to protect, and to use the wisdom wisely. And as Myra and her crew continued through the hall, they realized that their journey was only beginning. The city had much more to teach, and the knowledge it held could shape the future of all humans, if they were ready to understand it. The underground city glowed softly in the quiet of the cavern. Myra, Aaron, and Dallin stood in the central hall, surrounded by the energy of the city and the silent presence of the Guardians. The knowledge of the ancient humans had been revealed to them, and the power of the city thrummed in every corner. Myra ran her hand over one of the glowing panels. She could feel the energy flowing through the room, connecting every device, every symbol, and every guardian in perfect harmony. The city was alive, aware, and ready to guide humanity, but only if it was treated with respect. Aaron looked around, his expression full of awe and concern. "Myra, this knowledge, it is incredible. We could change the world above the desert. We could give humans energy, technology, and understanding far beyond what we have now. But is the world ready for this?" Myra nodded slowly. She had thought about this since they first entered the city. "I do not know. The people who built the city hid it for a reason. They left their knowledge intact, but they waited for humans capable of understanding it responsibly. Not everyone would handle it well." Dallin stepped closer, adjusting his scanner. "The city itself has tested us. The Guardians guided us. It chose to reveal knowledge because it believed we could be trusted. But releasing it to the surface without preparation could be dangerous. Humans might misuse it or fight over it." Myra turned to the Guardians, who stood silently at the edges of the hall. Their glowing eyes observed every motion, calm and patient. It felt as if the city itself was asking her to decide. "I think the city wants us to make a choice," Myra said softly. "We can reveal it to the world now, or we can guard it until humanity is ready. If we share it too soon, it could bring chaos. If we wait, we protect the knowledge and honor the people who built this place." Aaron exhaled slowly. "Waiting is safer, but it is hard. This knowledge could help so many people now. There are those struggling on the surface who could benefit immediately." Myra's eyes glowed with determination. The people who built this city did not just hide it to be selfish. They wanted to ensure that when the knowledge was used, it was used wisely. "We are only beginning to understand it ourselves. We cannot trust others until we fully grasp what we have found." Dallin nodded. "We need time. We can explore, learn, and document everything carefully. We can prepare ourselves before we make any decision to reveal the city. That way, humanity will be ready to handle it responsibly." Myra walked to the center of the hall, placing her hands on the glowing console. Energy pulsed through her fingertips, warm and steady. She felt the memories of the people who built the city, their hopes, their wisdom, and their care for the future. The city had entrusted her and her crew with its legacy. "We will protect the city," Myra said firmly. "We will learn from it, understand it, and prepare ourselves. When the time is right, we will share its knowledge. Until then, it remains safe here, as it was meant to be." Aaron placed a hand on her shoulder. "I understand, Myra. This is the right choice. The city trusted us. We must honor that trust." Dallin adjusted his equipment, scanning the flow of energy one last time. "We have already learned so much. Imagine how much more we can understand in the coming months. The city will teach us everything if we are patient." The Guardians stepped closer, forming a circle around the crew. Their glowing eyes pulsed in rhythm with the city's energy, acknowledging the decision. Myra felt a sense of calm wash over her. The city was alive, and it approved of their choice. Myra turned to her crew and whispered, "We are the first humans to walk these streets in thousands of years. We have been entrusted with a gift beyond measure. We must be careful, wise, and patient." Aaron nodded, his eyes scanning the glowing walls. "We will. We will make sure the city's knowledge is preserved and respected. We will not fail." Dallin smiled faintly. "And we will learn. The possibilities are endless. This city can help humanity grow in ways we cannot yet imagine. But first, we need to understand it fully." The explorers spent the next hours walking through the hall, revisiting the panels and devices. They studied the energy flows, recorded the symbols, and observed the Guardians' movements. Every step was a lesson, every touch an understanding. They realized that the city was not only a place of knowledge but also a teacher that required patience and care. As night fell above the desert, the city glowed brighter. The hum of energy filled the halls, steady and reassuring. Myra looked out across the plaza from the central hall and saw the statues, the towers, and the streets bathed in soft light. The city was alive, and it had chosen to trust them. "We have a responsibility," Myra said quietly, addressing the Guardians as much as her crew. "We will honor the city, protect it, and learn from it. One day, when humanity is ready, we will share its wisdom. Until then, it is safe in our hands." The Guardians' eyes glowed brighter, and a soft vibration spread through the ground. It was a sign of approval, a signal that the city understood their choice and accepted their promise. Myra felt a deep connection with the ancient humans who had built this place. Their hope, their care, and their vision had endured through time. Aaron smiled. "We are part of something much bigger than ourselves. The city has given us a chance to carry its legacy. We cannot waste it." Dallin adjusted his equipment one last time for the night. "We have learned enough to make our decision. Now we need to study, explore, and understand everything the city has to teach. The journey is far from over. Myra took a deep breath, feeling the energy of the city flow through her. We are ready. The city has awakened, and it has trusted us. We will protect it, learn from it, and prepare for the day when humanity is ready to receive its knowledge. This is our choice, and we will honor it. The crew spent the night in the central hall, surrounded by glowing panels, pulsating energy, and the silent guardians. The city hummed softly, alive and aware, as if watching over them and guiding them. Myra felt a sense of peace. They had made the right decision, and the future of humanity was in safe hands. When dawn broke over the desert, the light above did not reach the city below, but inside, the glow continued. The explorers had accepted their responsibility, and the city had accepted them. Together, they were ready to unlock the secrets of a lost civilization and ensure its wisdom would survive for generations to come. Myra looked at her crew, her heart full of hope. We are the guardians now. The city has entrusted us, and we will honor that trust. Its knowledge will remain safe, and one day, when the world is ready, it will shine once more. And so, beneath the endless desert sands, the lost city remained alive, awake, and waiting, protected by those who understood its value. Humanity had rediscovered its past, and the future would never be the same.